What's going on, guys? It's your boy Mr. Woz, and in today's video I'll be testing another moneymaker from the OSRS Wiki, and this time it's Pickpocketing Elves in prifddinas. Now I'm going to go through all of these moneymakers no matter how tedious the task is, and I'll switch things up depending on what you guys want me to do in the comment section below. Before I start this video, I mentioned recently on my community post that I'm doing a 100ml giveaway, but I'll only do that if I reach 3,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Now if I do get 3,000 subscribers before the end of the month, I will add in another 100ml, so that should get you guys to help me out that little bit more. And of course 200ml would be a nice little bonus towards your bank, and yeah, so all you got to do is just subscribe and get me to 3,000 subscribers. Now these elves was released on the 25th of July 2019 along with the Song of the Elves quest, and completing this quest will give you access to the elven city of prifddinas. These elves are the second highest thieving requirement in the game to pickpocket, which is level 85 thieving, and the Tazar in Tazar area is the highest, which requires 90 thieving. Now these elves is arguably the best thieving money making method in the game, as you can make so much GP and spending very little GP in supplies. I also tested Master Farmers for 1 hour if you want to check that out in the top right of your screen. Now according to the OSRS Wiki, you can make around 2.3ml GP profit per hour, which is amazing, mainly because there is a chance of getting enhanced crystal teleport seed, which is worth 2.6ml, as well as crystal shards and other miscellaneous items that are worth some GP as well. Now for the XP rates, you can gain up to 141k XP in thieving, which is pretty decent, but that all depends on your thieving level of course. Now the wiki also mentions that I'm going to be spending 10k on supplies for the 13 dodgy necklaces, which I'll be using that throughout the hour, so like I mentioned before, very minimal cost on supplies. Also the wiki mentions that you can pickpocket 400 elves per hour at 99 thieving, and on average you can see 2 enhanced teleport seeds every 153 minutes. And at 85 thieving you can achieve 275 pickpockets per hour, and you can see 2 teleport seeds every 225 minutes. So of course the higher your thieving level, the better GP per hour. So before I get into the requirements, I'm going to show you how to get to the elves. There is a number of ways, but I'm going to show you the 2 fastest methods. So the fastest method will be setting your POH location at prifddinas, and you can do this by talking to any estate agent in RuneScape, and you will need to spend 50k. And a few squares south of the POH portal is where you'll be thieving the elves. The second fastest way is using a teleport crystal or eternal teleport crystal to get to the centre of prifddinas and run west for around 5 to 10 seconds until you get to the elves. Okay, so we're going to move on to the requirements now to make this method really efficient, so let's start off with the skill requirements. You will need a minimum of 85 plus thieving in order to pickpocket them, but believe it or not, having 99 thieving is recommended as this gives you the most GP per hour. Having 50 agility or higher so you can obtain the rogue's outfit. Also having a decent hit points level, as you'll get stunned a lot from the elves, especially if you are 85 thieving. Having 97 herb lore is recommended so you can make divine super combats from the crystal shards you get from the elves, which will make you more profit. For the items in my inventory, I'm taking the dodgy necklaces, as when equipped, the necklace provides a 25% chance to prevent from being stunned and damaged whilst pickpocketing. The necklace has 10 charges, and 1 charge is consumed every time the necklace prevents damage against the elves, and once the charges are finished the necklace will turn into dust. Next I would take some food. As I mentioned before, they will stun you and damage you fairly often, even at 99 thieving and especially at lower levels. So I would suggest taking wines, as they are around 1 to 2 GP each and they heal 11, which is decent. Next will be the rogue's outfit that will guarantee double loot when wearing the full set. When I was going for this outfit it took me just over an hour to get, so it wasn't too bad compared to all the other outfits I had to get in RuneScape. Next is for people who have 99 thieving, and that is wearing the thieving cape, as this provides a 10% chance of being successful when pickpocketing, and also you can wear the normal max cape as it acts as a thieving cape as well. Now there's 2 more optional items to have, so first you could take a butterfly net to catch any crystal implings you can spot around the area whilst you are training. You will need 80 hunter to catch them with the net and 90 hunter to catch them barehanded. So if you are 90 hunter then obviously don't bring the net. If you are between 80 and 90 hunter, then I'll take an implin jar to catch the crystal implin. These implins are worth catching as you can average around 70k GP and you can possibly get an elite clue scroll which is 1 in 50 drop rate, so they are definitely worth catching. The next optional item is a chisel, as when you loot the diamonds from the elves you can cut them into bolt tips which makes you more profit, 170 GP to be exact, so this would be a better option than alching the diamonds or selling them in the Grand Exchange. Now the only quest requirement is completing Song of the Elves to access prifddinas, as I mentioned at the start of the video. It is a very fun quest to do, even though it's a little bit long, but for those who have completed the quest, let me know in the comments section of what you thought of the quest. And other requirements is completing the hard RD diaries, as this gives an increased chance of succeeding when pickpocketing anywhere in RuneScape, and the cloak doesn't have to be worn, it can stay in your inventory. This bonus also stacks with the 99 thieving cape as well. Now these elves have a really small drop table, so I'm going to go through them with you now. So in order you can get coins anything from 280 to 350 GP, 2 death runes, 1 jug of wine, 3 nature runes, 1 crystal shard, 1 fire orb, 1 diamond and 1 gold ore. And of course you can get the enhanced crystal teleport seed, which is 1 in 1024 drop rate, costing just under 2.6 mil. So if you get that, then that's really nice for your bank. You can also get the Rocky pet, which is actually 50% slower than if you was training at RD Knights. But if you was just going for the pet, then I would suggest going to the stalls in Draenor Village if you want to get the pet super fast. Now this drop table doesn't look like much, but even if you don't get the teleport seed you can still make around 600k, which is a nice amount of GP in 1 hour. Now there's some tips and tricks like always when doing this method, which will make life a little bit easier and it will speed up your thieving process. Now the first tip is to have the ornate pool in your POH, so once you're on low health you can regenerate your stats, come back out and start pickpocketing again, and this is a good reason to have your house at prifddinas. If you don't have a pool in your house, you can ask one of your friends to set their house in prif, so you can go in and out when you're on low health, and this will save money on food over time. Next I would set your quick prayers to rapid heal and redemption, as this will keep your hit points up before being forced to go and restore at your pool in your POH. Now out of all the elves I would pickpocket Lindir, as the NPC doesn't move or go outside the house even if you leave the door open, as you will never have to lure him, which is really convenient. The next tip is elves occasionally drop wines which will lengthen your trips. The next couple of tips are RuneLite plugins, so the first one is NPC Idle Timer, which is an external plugin on RuneLite, and you will need to scroll to the bottom to the plugin hub and you can put any of the NPC's name in the list. So as I'm using Lindir, I'll type in his name and then he'll have a 300-second timer above him which will reset when he moves. And lastly, you can use the Implin plugin on RuneLite and choose the Crystal Implin setting. Choose the option highlight and that will notify me if there's one nearby, and it will also show me on my minimap. Okay guys, so I'm coming up to the 1 hour mark now, and unfortunately I didn't get a teleport seed, but let's tele out of here and price check everything and see how much I've made. Okay guys, so here is all the loot that I got from the elves, so let's price check this and see how much I've made. 198k. Now I did get jugs of wine during the hour, but I did use them all so I can last longer on my trips. As they are around 1 to 2 GP each, it wouldn't have made much difference if I saved them. Now I did get 30 crystal shards with a small help of a crystal implin I found earlier on, so I'm going to make them into divine super combats for 3.6k GP extra profit per potion made. So all I need to do is use my pestle mortar on the shards to make them into crystal dust, which will give me 300 dust, which is quite a lot. Then I use the dust on a normal 4-dose super combat to make the divines. Okay, so all the divine super combats are made, and I've made an extra 290k. So my total GP now is 489k. Now I know it shows up 1.1 mil, but you have to minus the price of the normal super combats. That's why I made an extra 3.6k GP profit per potion made. So let's minus all the supplies that I used, and I only used 12 dodgy necklaces within the hour, which came to 605 GP each, so all 12 necklaces came to 7.2k GP. So altogether my total profit comes to 481,840 GP. I also gained 167.8k XP in thieving within the hour, which is really good. Oh, and I gained 150 XP in herblore for making those potions. I know it's a little bit irrelevant, but never mind. So let's go back to the OSRS Wiki, and it was saying I could have made 2 mil 372k GP profit per hour, but as I didn't pickpocket a enhanced teleport seed, I made a lot less of course. so I only made 481k 840 GP, but of course if I did get a teleport seed on top of my profits, then I would have made just under 3 mil, so would have been a lot more than what the wiki mentions. Now regarding the XP rates, the wiki says you can gain 141k thieving XP per hour, so I managed to gain an extra 26k XP more per hour, so really pleased about that. Now the profits from my previous video ended with 12,659,853 GP, and after the money I made from this video, which was 481,840 GP, my grand total profit now is 13,141,693 GP, so very pleased about that, and the money's looking really good at the moment. So that is the end of the video, guys. If you've liked this video, make sure you give this a big thumbs up like always, comment below on what moneymaker I should be testing next, and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on those notifications so you'll be the first one to watch my videos. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.